the underwritten cost of that. If there's a transrectal ultrasound, $400, we underwrite the cost of that. And if a biopsy is deemed necessary, $3,700, we also would underwrite the cost of that. So affordability should not be an issue for males going and getting screened and tested.
Wow. And do you have any numbers about the number of people who have benefited from this type of support and funding that Cibc has been engaged in?
Yes, I can tell you from a macro view, from the stats I've seen since we started the initiative, I'm happy to say that almost 60% of the males who come forward are first timers. So to
Right.
me, it's reflective of us being able to get the message across and the education. And for that, I would like to thank Dr. LeBlanc and the Cancer Society, and also Dr. Roy Keep for helping us get the message. As I said before, Dr. Keep is a national icon, and males take cognizance of what he has to say.
Definitely. And Dr. LeBlanc, to bring you back in the conversation, what is the Cancer Society doing in light of this, the Men's Health Week?
Well, well, that's the thing. So thanks to CIBC, every year we are so happy to be able to make inroads and get new men into the clinic to have the DRE, the PSA, and whatever other procedures may be warranted. During last year's campaign, what we noted is that there needed to be more attention to Tobago. And therefore, what we're doing is, as of this week, men can call the clinic, call the Cancer Society, 800-TTCS, and they can make their appointments for their prostate screening exams. And then we're going to launch the Tobago branch of this promotion a little later on in the month. And so the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, first of all, I would like to remind everyone, because of COVID, we didn't get to tell everyone publicly.
Right.
We're 50 years this year. And that's a big deal for Trinidad and Tobago, to have an organization fighting against cancer for Trinidad and Tobago. And the prices that Mrs. Siraj is quoting to you, it's important to recognize that the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society has those prices so as to remove the barrier to access that screening. So our prices are very heavily subsidized. Right. And it's thanks to corporations like CIBC that we're able to do this. So we are ramping up our promotions. We continue our education initiatives via social media, thanks to COVID. But we are really trying to get newer patients in, new men, dare I say, and just increase. And we tell men, tell your brother, tell your uncle, tell your father, come in, and don't be afraid. A lot of men are fearful of the DRE, which is the digital rectal exam. And then when they've had it, they go, that's it. And so that's important to understand, that don't be afraid. And don't be afraid of the diagnosis, because right. The Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society is here with you. And the earlier the cancer is detected, the better your chances of survival.
Definitely. So, Doctor, you spoke of the prostate testing and screening being done. And of course, the one with the most stigma attached to it for men, it's the DRE, or the digital rectal exam. Walk us through that prostate testing, and are there also alternative ways by which to get tested?
I'm sorry. Yes.
In a TV-friendly way, of course.
So we have two screening examinations. So it's the blood test, which is the PSA, the prostate-specific antigen test, and the DRE, which is the digital rectal exam. We, however, noted that in our population, both of those tests combined give a better sensitivity for detecting the disease. Right. So the first walkthrough is a blood test. So we take blood from the arm for the PSA. The digital rectal exam is quite easy. So basically, the physician will put the patient into a certain position, which most times is a fetal position, and they're lying on their side. And then the physician uses one finger, hence the word digital, and it's one finger. And we enter via the rectum with a gloved finger, and we will examine the back of the prostate. So what we feel for, and you're seeing my finger because this is literally what we do. So we're feeling for the size of the prostate, the texture of the prostate, if there are any nodules on the prostate, is there any tenderness or pain when we palpate or touch the prostate. And gauging from that, we then know, and this is because we've been trained, because we've had models and we've learned and we've gone through years of this. So based on that and the PSA and the patient's history, then we would know, does the patient need to be sent for an ultrasound or a biopsy, etc.
Right. And, so of course, again, men tend to be averse to this type of testing. But again, as you correctly mentioned, prevention is better than cure. When it comes to prostate testing, though, from what age should men go to get tested?
Right. So it's from 40 years of age. And it's, I need to impress upon the public that cancer is a lifestyle disease. So it's not about, so you have to be conscious even before your age of screening. But in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean, we do 40 years of age for the men to start their testing. But please be conscious that you have to have better lifestyle choices. So that's no smoking, decrease the use of alcohol, no excessive alcohol drinking, healthy, balanced diets, not a sedentary lifestyle, so exercising, stress coping, sleep management. And very important with prostate cancer is to know your family history and understand what if men in your family have been affected with prostate issues. And then, understand the disease as well, which is what we do through our education initiatives.
And Anthony, when it comes to the day of the event itself, what can we expect? Anthony?
I didn't.
Yes, I was just asking, on the day of the event itself, what can we expect?
Oh, there's no event. So what happened is that we have an event every year in September, which is the Walk for Cure for prostate cancer with CIBC. And CIBC does this walk and they raise funds, and then the funds go towards our screening. So what we're launching now is the actual promotion from last year's event.
Right.
So we're letting the public know that we have this, the clinic is open, take advantage of this offer, especially now in COVID times, and come in, get screened, educated, get tested, and don't be afraid.
I have one more question, doctor. Does the prostate itself being a little enlarged, is that a definite sign of cancer?
No. I love that question. No. So we have benign prostate hyperplasia, which is not malignant, it's not cancer, and then we have prostate cancer. But what are some of the warning signs that would make a man go to their physician? Here are a few. If you're having problems urinating, so initiating the urine stream or stopping the urine stream with some dribbling at the end.
Right.
If you have some pain with urination or ejaculation, if you see blood in your semen, if you have lower back pain, fatigue, weight loss you can't explain, erectile dysfunction. And I'm saying this cautiously, but I think it needs to be said because we can't be fearful of speaking about these issues to men.
Right.
In these times, you have to be conscious of your body. Look at how you're urinating. Look at how you're feeling. Understand and know your body. And then, if you have any of these signs or symptoms, go to your physician or to the Cancer Society. And I would say go to the Cancer Society, and we would be happy to evaluate it and go through the steps with you. But don't be fearful.
All right, and with that, I just want to thank you so much, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, Chairman of the Cancer Society of Trinidad and Tobago, and Anthony Siraj, Managing Director of CIBC First Caribbean. All right, we are now at the top of the hour. We're going to kick it upstairs to the TTT News Center for the news at 7. We'll be back with the second half of the show after that. We'll be right back.